What history is capable of is connecting the dots through natural disasters, through grief, through deep love, through community involvement, through family, weaving all those parts together so beautifully and so naturally, because it is the fabric that makes us.
This series of nannup oral histories is so important and so invaluable to our existing community, but also those into the future, because it really shares the stories of those people who have made our community what it is. You know, they're the ones that are out there fighting the fires. They're the ones that are out there grazing the land for the first time. They're the ones that are out there chopping the wood to create a new economy to support the broader community of Western Australia. You know, they're the ones that have chosen Nannup as the place where they want to stop, rest and play. And if we don't catch these stories, then we don't really have the true history of our town.
One went across the road out East Nannup. Most of these sightings, I'm crossing the roads 5 or 10 seconds. It's quick and they're gone, and it's very hard to photograph. So then that's where we use the name Nannup Tiger, because a lot of these sightings were all around here.
Mum always used to joke that they would always go and help Grandpa first. Grandma would be in the kitchen, but the kids had to go and help Grandpa. So they would go and help milk the cows, rush down, get ready for school. So the boys used to always put their feet in cow bim, as my grandpa used to call it, just to keep their feet warm because it'd be freezing. So when they got to school, they got to wash their feet.
When I took on the oral history project, I did not understand the enormity of what I was doing. Having people's history and making sure it's told properly, there's a real honour to it and a real responsibility.
And as an organisation from the Shire of Nannup and our Nannup Shire Council feels that it's very, very important to capture these stories for generations today and into the future.
200 acres. It had a cool spring running the whole length of the farm, and it started off in the bush above the farm. And in the summer, the spring, the water would still be running very slow.
I was standing up here watching someone performing, and I suddenly thought, "Oh my God, I don't remember getting an addition onto my insurance for this." And so I'm standing there in the middle of the concert ringing my insurance company saying, "Oh, can I just add on a concert into our insurance policy?" And they said, "Yeah, when's it starting?" And I said, "Oh, probably about an hour ago."
And when we'd shoot a kangaroo, we'd hang the kangaroo up on the willow tree and we'd take sort of some meat off one side of it and we'd probably eat that. Then the next day that'd all be fly blowing. So we'd go around the other side and cut some meat off that and, you know, got by.
What I really noticed was that history sort of sits in us silent and dormant. And what we've seen through this process is this waking up of history. And you can see it as it spreads across people's faces, and the emotion and the memories just make them light up. Or, you know, it may even be sadness, but there's a real waking up of memories. We sort of put history to the side and get on with our life a lot of the time. But in fact, it shapes and defines us in so many ways, and we carry it with us. That it's really special to have these opportunities to let those memories out and to let them shine again.
Got the gelignite out and put a really long fuse on it to make sure it could get right out of the way. The next minute we hear these 3 old boys coming down on the horse just up the track a little bit from there. And the next minute, boom, this damn thing went off. They were holding the horses back and they were in another camp. We sneaked over in the night, listened to them talking. And I thought, I don't know, he said, "It's good to see these boys with a bit of spark," he said.
You have to understand Vietnam was a different type of war. He's in the field, gets injured, stuck onto a chopper, been to Sydney, into Perth within 48 hours. And all of a sudden, you have to adjust without any of
time and support.
Yeah, right. And that's what people don't realise. And that's why so many of them have so much trouble. You know, they moved in such a quick period of time. They're not doing it with their mates.
Yeah.
They've been split up, whereas the other ones did it on that slow boat to get it out of your system. Well, our guys they just couldn't fit back into society.
That's first butter churn John made.
Wow.
He made that when we had cows at North Boynup.
And because it's small and fairly nimble, you can dodge around trees, but you can see that at the back, that's getting too close to trees. 50 pounds is what I paid for that, and it still goes.
Nannup indeed has become a character that came alive in the voices of those who told their stories. A character that's remained warm and nurturing, but wild and strong. A character that has embraced opportunities and change. Nannup like a nice warm hug, as most people would say.